Welcome back to Horoscope TV. It is so good to have you with us again.
It's great to be here.
So we are looking ahead at the celestial weather for the week of January 26th through to February 1st, 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're doing something a little different. We're really narrowing our focus, putting one sign right under the microscope.
We are.
So if you are a Taurus, or maybe you have a Taurus rising or a Taurus moon that you
Yeah.
really connect with, you are definitely going to want to listen closely.
Oh, for sure. Grab a cup of tea, maybe a notebook. This is a big one.
It really looks like it.
Hmm.
And this isn't going to be one of those standard weekly updates, where we just say you might meet a stranger or find a $5 bill.
No, not at all. We are looking at the astrological data, and honestly, this week feels like a massive, and I mean massive, turning point for the bulls of the zodiac.
It really does.
Mhm.
So we're not just going to read a list. We're going to analyze what's happening up there because the energy shifts affecting Taurus this week are, they're profound.
They're structural. That's the word I'd use. We are seeing this huge convergence of energy in the professional part of your life, but it's also, clashing with some really deep personal and home life themes.
A clash.
A big one. It's actually pretty rare to see a chart so heavily weighted in one direction for a specific sign like this. It's dramatic.
Exactly. And that's why we're here to kind of act as your guide through this very specific, very potent window of time. So let's start with the big picture, the headline. If you had to put this week on a movie poster for a Taurus, what would the title be?
Oh, that's easy. It's professional transformation.
Okay.
That is the absolute core theme. This is a week that's defined by a massive, almost volcanic push in your career sector. We're looking at a complete transformation of your public image.
Yeah.
But, and there's always a but in astrology, right?
Always.
There's a counterweight. The week kicks off with this sharp focus on you, on the self, then it hits this incredible fever pitch of career intensity midweek, and then it wraps up with a really dramatic pullback towards your home and family. It's a whole story.
It really does sound like a movie script.
Yeah.
You've got the inciting incident, the climax, and then the fallout.
Exactly. And we have some major players on the celestial stage making all that drama happen. We start the week with the first quarter moon, and it's lighting up your sign, Taurus. That's the spark.
Okay, the spark.
Then we have a very rare and frankly incredibly intense meeting between Mars and Pluto.
That sounds explosive.
That is the explosion. And just when you think you can finally catch your breath, the week ends with a super dramatic full moon in Leo.
Mars and Pluto together. Just hearing those two names in the same sentence makes me think of, I don't know, fireworks. Or maybe a demolition crew.
Both are pretty accurate.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the explosions, let's talk about who this is really for. The user profile, if you will. Is this for the Taurus who just wants to chill out, eat some good food, and enjoy life?
Not this week.
I didn't think so.
No. This is for the Taurus who is ready, truly ready to make their presence known. If you've been kind of sitting on the sidelines or waiting for the right moment, this week is going to feel incredibly uncomfortable because the energy is all about stepping up.
No more waiting.
None. It's for the ambitious Taurus who needs to figure out how to balance that incredible new drive with their personal relationships. Because, and this is the key, if you lean too hard into the career side of things, the personal side might start to wobble.
A balancing act.
A major one.
That is a fantastic setup. So let's unpack this day by day. Let's start with what you call the Monday awakening on January 26th. We have the first quarter moon right there in Taurus.
Yep.
Now, help me out here. Most of the time, people talk about new moons and full moons. Why is the first quarter moon so important this week?
That's a great question because it's a phase that often gets overlooked, but it's so critical for understanding momentum. We talk about the new moon as the time for setting intentions. That's planting the seed. And the full moon is all about release and culmination, the harvest.
Okay.
But the first quarter, that's what astrologers call the crisis of action.
A crisis of action. I like that. It sounds urgent.
It is. It's the point in the lunar cycle where the moon is at a 90-degree angle, a square, to the sun. And squares create friction. They create tension. It's where the rubber meets the road.
So you can't just sit there and think about it anymore.
Exactly. You have to do something. And to have that happen directly in your own sign, in Taurus, creates this very specific, very personal psychological urge.
Just a wake-up call.
It is precisely a wake-up call. It creates a feeling of, I need to do this and I need to do it now. It's a huge push forward with personal goals. It's all about your identity. The moon in the first house of the self is basically shouting, look at me, I am here.
Okay.
It's about making your presence known. It's like the universe is poking you in the ribs and saying, get moving now.
So for our Taurus listeners, Monday is absolutely not a day to hit the snooze button.
Definitely not.
It sounds like they're going to feel this real empowerment to just take control.
Yes, and specifically control over their resources and their ideas.
Mhm.
You have to remember, Taurus is an earth sign. It's ruled by Venus. It cares about tangible things.
Right, security, comfort, the physical world.
Exactly. So this isn't just some abstract mood boost or a vague feeling of confidence. This is a very real, grounded urge that says, I want to take control of my resources. I want to assert my plan. I want to own this.
That sounds fantastic for confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been waiting to speak up in a meeting or pitch a new idea, Monday sounds like a huge green light.
It is.
But
Yeah.
let me play devil's advocate for a second. Knowing the Taurus personality, which can be, let's say, a little fixed,
A little stubborn. We can say it.
a little stubborn, yes.
Yeah.
Is there a downside to this, me first energy?
There's always a shadow side to every transit, right?
Yeah.
And the caution here is that when you turn the volume on my needs up to 10,
Can't hear anyone else.
you can't hear anyone else. That's it. You might not hear what your partner is saying, what your colleagues are suggesting. Focusing so heavily on your own desires and your own path can definitely cause friction in your relationships.
Okay.
We'll talk about this more when we get to the love forecast, but it's a huge piece of foreshadowing for the week. Confidence is great, but the risk is self-absorption. You don't want to become a bulldozer just because you finally got the keys to the engine.
Right. A fine line between assertive and just aggressive.
A very fine line.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. On this exact same day, January 26th, there's another planetary shift that seems, on the surface, a bit contradictory to what you just described. Neptune is entering Aries.
Yes. This is where the real nuance comes in. This is why we have to analyze the whole picture, not just one planet in isolation.
So we have the moon in Taurus shouting, look at me, look at what I'm building.
Right. And at the exact same time, you have Neptune, the planet of fog and dreams, moving into Aries. Now, for you, Taurus, Aries rules your 12th house.
Okay, let's unpack that for anyone who might not be super familiar with the houses. What exactly is the 12th house?
The 12th house is the house of the hidden. It's our blind spot. It's the unconscious mind. It's our spiritual retreat. It's all the things we don't show the world. It's kind of like the psychic closet of the zodiac.
The psychic closet. I love that.
It deals with dreams, intuitions, secrets, and sometimes our own self-undoing, the stuff we do that sabotages us without us even realizing it.
So, wait. The moon is screaming public, and Neptune is whispering private.
Exactly. That is the core tension of Monday. Neptune is the planet of, dreams, illusions, intuition, spirituality. When it moves into that very private 12th house sector for you, it activates your inner path. It can make you feel more private, more reflective on the inside, even while you're acting very boldly on the outside.
So on the outside, you're pushing projects forward, you're speaking up. But on the inside, there's this deep, maybe even confusing, quiet churning going on.
Yes. And very specifically, because Taurus is so deeply linked to value and security, this transit really activates your intuition around money.
Oh, interesting.
That's a very specific detail from the data. Your intuition about finances, about resources, about what things are really worth becomes highly, highly tuned. But it's coming from a subconscious place. It's not a spreadsheet. It's a gut feeling, a hunch.
So what's the strategic advice then? How do you manage Monday with this split energy?
The strategy is to act publicly, but to keep your own counsel privately. While that first quarter moon is pushing you to take public action, go do the thing, make the speech, lead the meeting, Neptune is warning you to keep some of your cards very close to the vest.
Don't show your whole hand.
Don't show your whole hand. Don't reveal all your reasoning. Trust your gut. But maybe don't broadcast where that gut feeling came from just yet. There's a power and mystery for you on Monday.
Keep some things close to the vest. I like that. It adds a bit of intrigue to the usually very solid, very dependable Taurus reputation.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so that's Monday. Now let's move on to Tuesday, January 27th. This is where the energy seems to shift from, wake up to full-blown explosion. Mars joins Pluto.
This is it. This is the main event of the week, astrologically speaking.
Yeah.
If you remember one thing about this week, remember Mars conjunct Pluto on January 27th.
And where is this happening? Location, location, location.
It is happening right at the top of your chart. In the Taurus career sector, the 10th house of professional achievement, Public reputation and your legacy, the most visible part of your chart.
Okay, so let's break down the actors here for everyone. We have Mars, the planet of action, war, drive, ambition.
Libido, energy.
And we have Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, death, and rebirth. The big
And
one.
lord of the underworld, yeah.
And they are, what, holding hands in your career sector.
You know, holding hands might be a little too gentle for Mars and Pluto. It's more like they are fusing their nuclear reactors together.
Whoa.
When these two planets come together in a conjunction, it creates this incredibly concentrated burst of intensity. And I have to stress, this is a rare and powerful aspect. This is not something that happens every week or even every year in this specific configuration for you.
I think I described it in my notes as rocket fuel. Is that an accurate description?
That is perfectly accurate. It gives you the drive, the raw power to conquer enormous challenges. If there has been a mountain you've been afraid to climb in your career, this is the energy that not only gets you to the summit, it kind of obliterates the mountain.
It obliterates obstacles.
Completely. It creates this powerful tunnel vision towards success.
So what does this actually look like in the real world for a Taurus? Are we talking about, finally getting that promotion? Or is it bigger than that?
It can be a promotion, but it's likely bigger. The manifestations could range from taking on a huge leadership role that you didn't think you were ready for, to launching a major project that completely transforms your professional path.
A whole new direction.
A whole new direction. It could even be a fundamental transformation of your public image, how people see you. You stop being the reliable worker bee and you become the queen bee. Or the king. It's an assumption of power. It's you standing up and saying, I am the authority here.
That sounds incredibly empowering, but also a little scary. It's so intense.
Intensity is the key word. Mars is aggressive. Pluto is obsessive. You put them together, you get a relentless, obsessive drive. You will not take no for an answer on Tuesday.
Which I imagine brings us squarely into the danger zone.
It does.
The forecast specifically warns, be careful not to step on toes.
And this is the most crucial warning of the entire week. When you have this much cosmic voltage running through your career house, you can become a bulldozer. You can be so focused on the goal, so completely driven by this Mars-Pluto fusion that you don't even realize you are crushing people on your way up.
So ambition curdles into arrogance.
Very, very quickly. Mars wants to win. Pluto wants to dominate. If you are not consciously managing this energy, you might win the battle. You might get the project approved, but you lose the war because you've alienated your entire team, your boss, everyone.
So that my way or the highway approach might get the job done in the short term, but it leaves a whole lot of wreckage behind it.
Precisely. And the data also indicates this conjunction causes stress levels to just skyrocket. This isn't a relaxed, oh, look at me, I'm succeeding kind of vibe. This is high stakes, high pressure, teeth-gritting success. The drive is high, but the toll on your body and your mind is significant. You are running on pure adrenaline and cortisol.
We will definitely come back to that toll when we talk about health later. But the big takeaway for Tuesday is, if you are climbing that ladder, just make sure you aren't knocking other people off of it on your way up. Check your blind spots.
Yes. Wield the power, but don't let the power wield you. Be conscious of your impact.
Okay, so we get through the intensity of Tuesday. We move to the middle of the week, to Thursday, January 29th, and it looks like we get a major vibe shift. Mercury aligns with Venus.
Yes, and thank goodness for that. We need it after Tuesday.
Right.
It's like a cool, gentle rain after a blistering heat wave. You have Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, meeting up with Venus, the planet of love, harmony, diplomacy, and money.
And of course, Venus is the ruling planet for Taurus, so this must feel particularly good for our listeners.
It feels like a soothing balm. It feels like coming home to yourself after being out in a storm. We shift from the raw aggression of Mars and Pluto to the smooth diplomacy of Mercury and Venus.
So how does this play out professionally? We just had the big explosion on Tuesday. What's the move on Thursday?
You negotiate. You talk. You smooth things over. This is the specific astrological window to negotiate a raise. This is the time to sit down with a superior and discuss your financial plans, your value to the company.
Okay, that's interesting. So why Thursday and not Tuesday? If I have all that raw power on Tuesday, shouldn't I just march in there and demand the raise then?
You could, but you might not like the result. On Tuesday, you're just too intense. You might demand that raise and just scare your boss or come off as threatening and arrogant.
Ah, okay.
On Thursday, you have the charm. You have the sweet words. You can articulate your value, that's Mercury. in a way that is received as harmonious and deserved. That's Venus. You can sell your vision without forcing it down someone's throat. It's the difference between a demand and a persuasive argument.
That is such a useful distinction. So Tuesday is for the action, Thursday is for the words that frame the action.
Perfectly said. And this also applies to your relationships, too. If you did step on some toes on Tuesday, or if you were a bit too self-absorbed on Monday during that first quarter moon, Thursday is the day to smooth over those rough patches.
So it's the apology tour.
Or just the charm offensive.
Yeah.
Using those sweet words and that sense of understanding to repair any ego bruising that happened earlier in the week. It facilitates connection. It allows you to build a bridge over the gap that your ambition might have created.
I see a financial strategy here, too.
Yeah.
The outline mentions linking this all back to a long-term view.
Yes. Remember that first quarter moon on Monday, which was all about taking control of your resources. Thursday is when you verbalize that. You take that internal urge from Monday and you use the eloquence and charm of Thursday to speak it into existence. I need this budget because, or my long-term savings goal requires this kind of structure. You make that abstract desire concrete and agreeable through language.
It's connecting the impulse to a workable plan that everyone can get behind.
Exactly.
Okay, so we navigate the work week. We've had the awakening, the explosion, the negotiation, and then we finally hit the weekend, Sunday, February 1st. And there's a full moon in Leo.
And it is the dramatic finale. A full moon in Leo is always theatrical. It's always a bit extra. Leo is a fire sign. It wants to express. It wants to shine. It wants to be seen.
Right.
But for you, Taurus, this full moon is falling in your fourth house, the house of home, family, roots, and your private life.
And this creates a conflict, doesn't it? Because Leo and Taurus are both fixed signs.
Yes, they form what's called a square aspect in the sky. And a square always creates tension. It's a cosmic challenge that demands action to resolve a conflict.
So what's the conflict here?
The conflict is thematic. The entire week has been about your intense career focus, that 10th house Mars-Pluto energy. You've been out conquering the world. And now the universe is swinging the pendulum all the way to the other side of your chart to the fourth house, and it's demanding that you pay attention to your home.
It sounds like a cosmic tug of war. The office is calling, but your family is screaming.
That is exactly the atmosphere. It can be incredibly emotionally draining. You have spent all of your battery power, all of your adrenaline conquering the professional world all week, and now, just when you want to rest, you're faced with a climax or a drama in your domestic life.
You can't escape it.
No, it forces you to look at where you live and how you live.
The forecast mentions something about a security check. What does that mean in this context?
So the full moon will highlight your need to feel secure in your foundations. This could be literal security, like you might suddenly notice a leaky roof or a lock that needs fixing.
Okay.
But it's much more likely to be about emotional security. It forces a pause in the professional grind. You cannot ignore the foundation of your life. If the foundation, your home, your family, your sense of inner peace cracks, that career tower you've been building all week is going to come tumbling down.
Wow, that is a powerful image. You can't build a skyscraper on a swamp.
You can't. So Sunday forces you to look at the swamp, or hopefully the solid ground beneath you, and tend to it. You have to nurture your roots if you want your branches to grow high and strong.
So big picture for the week. It starts with me, it rockets into career, it smooths out with talk, and it climaxes with home.
A perfect summary.
Okay, let's do a deeper analysis now of some specific life domains. Let's start with love and romance.
Right. Love is really interesting this week because it's not the main story, but it is deeply, deeply affected by the main story. The forecast's bottom line is patience required.
And that goes right back to that Monday energy, doesn't it? The me show.
It absolutely does. That first quarter moon in Taurus puts all the focus on my needs. And in a relationship, if one person is suddenly and loudly only talking about my needs, my goals, my plans, the other person can start to feel, well, neglected.
Like a side character.
Exactly, like a supporting character in the Taurus show. And that's where the friction comes from. Your partner might feel like they're just there to help you achieve your goals, not as an equal partner in a shared life.
And the strategy mentioned is listen as well as speak, which sounds so simple on paper, but it's probably incredibly hard to do when you've got Mars and Pluto revving your engine all week.
It's extremely hard. When you're in that conqueror mode, listening feels passive. It feels like you're wasting time, but it is absolutely essential this week. It's the lifeline for your relationship. You have to consciously make the effort to unclench your jaw, Stop thinking about the next career move for 5 minutes and actually hear what your partner is saying to you.
Okay, now for the singles out there, this is where it gets really fascinating. The data suggests that single Tauruses might find themselves very attracted to someone with a powerful presence at work.
This is such a classic manifestation of Mars and Pluto in the career sector. We project that energy outwards. If you aren't feeling like you're being the boss, you might find you want to date the boss.
So power is the aphrodisiac this week.
100%. You are not going to be looking for the sweet, quiet, gentle type this week. You'll be drawn to competence, authority, drive, and intensity. You want someone who matches that powerful Mars-Pluto vibe that's coursing through you.
There's a catch here, right? We talked about Neptune and secrets earlier.
Yes, that's the catch. With Neptune fogging up your 12th house of secrets, you need to make sure that this workplace attraction isn't something that needs to be hidden in a way that could become toxic or self-sabotaging.
Like an affair or something that could get you fired.
Exactly. Don't let the Neptunian fog cloud your judgment on an office romance. If it requires too many secrets, if it feels illicit, it might be a trap set by your own subconscious. Be careful.
That's a really good point. And then what's the weekend trap for love?
The full moon in Leo on Sunday. It's almost guaranteed to bring some kind of emotional situation at home to a head. A partner, a family member, a roommate might have a meltdown or bring up a long simmering issue. This situation needs loving attention, not defensiveness.
So you can't treat it like a business problem.
Do not, I repeat, do not treat it like a boardroom negotiation or a battle to be won. Switch hats. They aren't your employee or your competitor, they are your partner, your family. They need care, not conquest.
Okay. Let's switch gears. Let's talk money and finance. We touched on this with the Thursday negotiation, but let's drill down a bit more. The theme is the long game.
That has to be the mindset. You know, Taurus is usually very good at the long game. You are the builders of the zodiac. But with Mars so active, there's this powerful urge for quick results. I want the profit now. I want the reward today. You have to consciously resist that impulse this week. All financial decisions must be made with a long-term view.
And what about that Neptune factor we mentioned? The advice was to avoid secret deals.
Yes. Neptune in that hidden part of your chart can make things very murky. Your intuition is strong, that's true. But there's a huge difference between intuition and deception. So you have to avoid any schemes that promise quick riches through back channels or secret methods. If it can't be done out in the bright sunlight, just don't do it this week. If someone comes to you whispering a guaranteed stock tip in your ear, run the other way.
So transparency is key.
Transparency is safety. And you have to use that beautiful January 29th energy, that Mercury-Venus conjunction, the motivation to save for a big personal goal. Maybe it's a down payment on a house. Maybe it's tuition for a new certification is going to be very high. Vocalize those needs on Thursday. Put the plan on paper. Talk to your partner or a financial advisor about it.
Okay, let's move to health and wellness. I have a feeling this is the under-discussed hero of this week's forecast. With all this intensity, the body has to be feeling it.
It is the absolute foundation. If you don't manage your health and your stress levels this week, the career transformation just burns you out. You can't lead the revolution if you're sick in bed.
Right. The first quarter moon on Monday is described as a literal wake-up call for the body.
And that implies a moment of realization. Maybe you run up a flight of stairs and you're completely winded and you think, okay, that's it, something has to change. Or you really look at your diet and realize it's what's fueling your lethargy, not your ambition.
So it's a good time to start something new.
A great time. It's an excellent time to start a new fitness routine or overhaul your diet because Mars gives you the energy and the willpower to actually stick with it.
But that stress warning is serious.
It is the most serious health warning of the week. Mars and Pluto conjunct is high-octane stress. It's pure adrenaline. It's cortisol. It's your body's fight-or-flight response getting stuck in the on position for days.
And that takes a physical toll.
A huge one. Think about things like digestion issues, tension headaches, and especially tension in the neck and shoulders. Those are classic Taurus trouble spots. Taurus rules the throat and neck, and that is exactly where you will hold the stress of this week.
So stress management isn't a luxury this week. It is an absolute necessity.
You have to schedule decompression just like you schedule a meeting. You have to discharge that energy physically. Go for a hard run, hit a boxing bag, do something to get it out of your body. And specifically, plan for a quiet Sunday evening at home.
After the full moon drama.
Yes. After the emotional drain of the full moon, you have to recover. Do not plan a big social outing for Sunday night. Your nervous system will be fried.
Couch, Tea, blanket.
Got it. That is the prescription. Reset the nervous system before you start the next week.
All right, I think everyone could use that. Let's give the listeners the cosmic cheat sheet, the quick hits they can jot down. What is the color of the week?
It is green.
A classic for Taurus. Why green this week specifically?
It is. It's the color of the heart chakra, it's the color of money, and it's the color of nature. But on a deeper level, it's about balancing the intense red energy of Mars. Mars is red, hot, inflamed, aggressive. Green is cooling, grounding, stabilizing.
So it's an antidote.
It's the perfect antidote. Wear it, put a plant on your desk, surround yourself with it. It will ground you when the fire gets too hot.
Okay. Lucky numbers, get your pens out.
We have 6, 15, 24, 33, 42, and 5. These are largely Venusian numbers, which is a little reminder to stay connected to your ruling planet's energy of grace and harmony amidst the chaos.
And what are the key dates to circle on the calendar?
January 26th, that's the kickoff with the moon in your sign, and January 29th, that is your golden window for negotiation and for smoothing over any romantic ruffled feathers.
Perfect. Let's talk compatibility. In a week this intense, who is the best wingman for a Taurus who's going to help them through it?
Virgo.
Makes sense. Another earth sign.
It's all about practical support this week. Virgo offers the grounding that you desperately need. During a week of career chaos, you don't need someone else hyping you up and adding to the frenzy. You need someone to organize your spreadsheet.
Or make you a healthy meal.
Or make you a healthy meal. Virgo helps you organize your thoughts and plans. Communication is easy because you're both on the same practical wavelength. They understand the need for stability, and they will not add to the drama. They subtract from it.
Okay, so who should we perhaps avoid, or at least be a little careful with this week?
Leo.
The worst match is Leo.
It is for this week, and it is entirely because of that square aspect from the full moon on Sunday. Leo is demanding attention, and you are focused on your career. The egos clash.
It's the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object.
That's it. You have Taurus stubbornness versus Leo drama. Your priorities are just at odds. Leo might be at home demanding that you look at them and appreciate them, while you are trying to finalize the details of a major merger. It is a recipe for conflict.
So a heads up if you're partnered with a Leo.
Yes. Just be aware of this dynamic and tread very carefully, especially on Sunday. Give them the attention they need before they have to demand it.
That's good advice.
Okay.
Let's wrap this all up with a final analysis. It really sounds like a week of incredibly high stakes.
It is a week of massive professional strides, but only if you don't burn out or burn your bridges in the process. That is the tightrope you have to walk all week. You have to be strong enough to transform, but also soft enough to stay connected to the people who matter.
So use the power of Mars and Pluto to transform your path, but use the grace of Venus to keep your people close.
That is beautifully put. You have to balance the warrior with the lover this week.
All right, here is a provocative thought to leave you with, something to chew on as you navigate all this potent energy. We talked a lot about transforming your public image, and we talked about the full moon putting a spotlight on your home sector. So the question is, if you truly transform your public image this week, as the stars are suggesting you can, does your current home life actually fit the new version of you? Or will that have to transform too?
Ooh, that is a very big question. Sometimes when we level up in our career, our environment has to level up too.
It's a big question. And on that note, we want to thank you for tuning into this episode on Horoscope TV.
It's been a real pleasure exploring the charts with you.
If you found this helpful, and we hope you did, please subscribe so you can get notified when the next episode is available to help you navigate the stars. Until then, good luck with the transformation.